The following program is rated D for dumb.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Are you ready to dumb it down? Well, dumb it on down. You're the new listeners on the Pragmatic Podcast hosted by Dave Canyon called Dumbing It Down with Dave. How do you like that? Well, dumb it on down. There you go. That's something different. Thank you to Alex Exum at the top of the show. That was his voice doing the intro. AlexExum.com, ALEXEXUM, AlexExum.com. And that was Harry that you heard at the beginning of the show.
The following program is rated D for dumb.
That's AI Harry. And I'd like to thank Linda Irwin from Awesome Insanity Surfers. Awesome Insanity Surfers, show that she's done for a long time. And she provides me with the AI voices. So thank you very much. We've a lot of us have been looking forward to Harry. We've had Harry and Emma, and there's a whole bunch more. And if I ever get my keister in gear, well, if I ever stop working and doing other things, I'll be contacting a whole bunch of people and sending out scripts and this and that. And there'll be a lot more intros and outros and the AGs and breather breaks and drink breaks and all this craziness that's really probably unnecessary, but it does sort of, break things up a little bit. And it's good to break things up a little bit. Speaking of breaking things up a little bit, I have nothing to add to that. I just thought I'd just say that just in case I had a really good segue, ready to go. I don't have a good segue ready to go. Oh yeah, talking about breaking it up a little bit. See, now I have a segue, baby. Probably not. I just want to bring some attention to a couple of things that are going on in regards to Dumbing It Down with Dave and also Dave's Fit Life. For those of you who are not aware, I do a YouTube channel? Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I love the fact that they call it a channel. I guess there's a selector in a way, so yeah, okay. Anyway, so I have a YouTube channel. It's called Dave's Fit Life. Dave's Fit Life. And it's all about me trying to get fit. It used to be about me living in my fit, but I blew up the fit. And it also used to be, it still is about fitting things in my life. So now it's about being fit, fitting things into my life, and living in a Dodge Caravan. All right? It's actually Caravan, but I'm calling it a Caravan. Why not? I care. Do you care? All right, maybe it's a do not caravan. I do not caravan. No, but I do caravan. So anyway, we just started season 2. It doesn't have a special name, but we're still in phase 1. So I don't really know if I'll be talking a lot about Dave's Fit Life on Dumbing It Down with Dave. I know on Dumbing It Down on Dave's Fit Life, I really won't be talking about Dumbing It Down with Dave. But can this be a companion podcast for Dave's Fit Life? Yeah, a little bit, because you know what? This is a half hour. I do 2 half-hour shows a week because I syndicate the show on Mile High Radio, milehigh.radio.com, milehigh.radio.com. Thank you, Lynn and Bobby. And they just won an award for best, internet radio station, by people who, I guess, know all about internet radio stations. What do I know? Anyway, it was some sort of Aurora award, because Aurora is like Paramount. It's like those words that they use for Acme, the highest peak, the highest, the bestest, and all that other stuff. Anyway, so I do 2 half-hour shows. But the YouTube is short. It could be as short as a minute or 2. It could be as long as 10 minutes, which is too long. It's too much video, Dave video, too much. It's not that informative. It's not that compelling. And there's no editing. It's one take. Every Dave's Fit Life now is one take until I find or hire a video editor, or I learn. But I don't have time for learning. I don't have time for learnings. I'm just going to keep on. I mean, there's iMovie on this iPhone. It's so small. Everything's small. It's amazing that they even bother putting iMovie on an iPhone, especially the 6S. Everything's teeny. I could imagine. And you know what? I'll be 5 seconds into editing and I'll fall asleep. No way. And a lot of people might say, Dave, you're very defeatist. Every time you talk about certain things, you're like, no way. Well, let me tell you something. I just know me. I know when I start to concentrate, no matter what I'm concentrating on, I'm going down. I'm falling asleep. I just worked about 69 to 70 hours this week. And I worked out. I did Dave's Fit Life. It was the first week, so it's the second season, again, of Dave's Fit Life. And I'm exhausted, so there won't be any ending. So the point of all of this was to say, I started Dave's Fit Life, Season 2, Phase 1. What is Phase 1, you might say? Phase 1 is just really getting into the groove of Dave's Fit Life, just doing it. I talked about discipline. Do I have discipline? I know that the key to success is preparation, but do I have the discipline to always be prepared, to always working on preparing? And, all that stuff. Last year, I started Days Fit Life, and then my mother had a stroke. So I took a lot of time, a lot of energy. Time and energy is very important to me because I don't have neither one. I don't have neither one. I don't have either one. I have neither of them. That's how it works, right? I have neither of them, or I don't have either of them. I wonder which one is the preferred method. I don't know. So, I'll have to check that Grammar Girl podcast. There's a Grammar Girl podcast. I would love to listen to that show every day and get smarter, get more smarter, get betterer at my grammar. But I don't have time for that show. It's a really great show. Grammar Girl, if you haven't heard it. If you want to learn better grammar. So Days Fit Life. Where was I? I got a whole sidetracked with the Grammar Girl thing. So I started, Phase 1. It's just getting into the groove of it. Yeah, so last year my mother had the stroke. And so I took time off. I had to go down there, and it was very disruptive to my life, with my father and my mother, and the whole deaf thing, and the Medicaid, and the nursing home, and the International House of Nurses, nurses from Jamaica, from Haiti, from Germany, from Russia, from Guadalajara, everything. Was there an Asian? I don't even know if there might have been one Asian nurse. I think she found a better job. I don't know. Anyway, it was very exhausting, and there was just Days Fit Life got disrupted. And then when I finally got back, when I finished my leave, when I ended my leave, and I stopped taking care of my mother, and I came back to work, which was like in January of 2019. That's when I moved into the fit, and I did the best I could to get some ground, and I was doing pretty good. I think at one point I had lost 10 pounds. And if I remember, I want to talk about the poundage real quickly, just to remind everybody what's going on with poundage. But, and then I blew up my fit right before my Italy vacation. And that really put me into a tailspin. I only took 3 months off. It seems like 6 years. But it's only been 3 months, and I just started walking again on the treadmill this week. So I feel good. I had a couple of good workouts. I got some sleep. Some nights not so good. It's back to square one. It's back to the drawing board all over again. Everything is, I gained the weight back that I lost, and whatever endurance I might have gained, I lost it. Whatever strength I might have gained, I lost it. I saw my personal trainer there, Jabari, I think is his name, Jabari, and could be Jazari, could be I'm sorry. I don't know what his name is. But no disrespect. It's hard for me. It's not one of those names like, hey, Pete. It'd be great if he had a name like Pete. Oh, it's Pete. What's his name? Pete? Peter? No, Pete. But he's got to go by Jabari. Whatever. I don't know. So, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to a name that's not familiar to me. But I get tired. I just how many syllables? Jabari. Jabari. That's 3. That's why I shortened my name from David to Dave. Not legally, but like 1 syllable. Pretty much by the time you get to A, it's never going to be date or dape or Dale. Well, it could be Dale. But you know what I'm saying? Once you get to DA, once you hear that, you pretty much, it's going to be Dave. When, for me to call me David, the vid is like, what, well, actually, if I do more in the world of video, if, maybe like Davidio. See that? All right, but that's not that clever. You know what I'm saying? Dave, I get it. Pat, I get it. Linda, yeah, we could call it Lynn. Mark is Mark. We don't need a second. Names don't need a second syllable. They definitely don't need a third. So Jabari, it's like, why can't I just call him Ja? Hey, Ja. Jab? No, that's like almost 2 syllables. Jab. Ja. No, Ja. How many syllables do you need? You're gonna, if you get used to it, you'll recognize it, and we'll save a lot of time. Except when I talk about it on a podcast, and we'll burn 20 minutes talking about it. Okay, so anyway, so phase 1 is all about just getting back in the groove, and that's it. So this week was a good first initial week. Get used to sleeping in the caravan. It's more spacious, which means it's more comfortable. My legs are totally spread out. In the Fit, I was kind of scrunched up a little bit. It was really a rat in a small rat cage in the Honda Fit. But I really wanted to rough it out. I am still upset that I blew up the Fit. I really wanted to get used to the Fit. I wanted to really run it to the ground, or really just get to the point where I said, you know what? I've really mastered the art of living in a Honda Fit. Now I'm gonna trade it in because it had good value. It was in great shape except for a little rust in the right rear wheel well, and I would have found something else. I think what I was going to do was buy a newer Fit. I think that's what I originally intended to do, to buy the newer model Fit. But you know what? This is a 2-sleeper, or maybe even a 3-sleeper. You could sleep a couple of people in here, and it rides great. I'm in it right now. It's much quieter than the Fit. It rides smooth. Does cruise control work? I used it in Florida. Let's hit that button, and let's hit this button. I like that. I'm doing cruise control in the podcast. Oh, by the way, did I mention it's the fastest podcast on earth, Dumbing It Down with Dave? I'm your pragmatic podcaster. In this show, we talk about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. I just figured I'd mention that. And also, if you want to contact the show, if you like the fact that we talk about this, or we don't talk about that, or whatever, feel free to tweet me. Tweet me at Dumb with Dave. Feel free to take the link from wherever you're listening to, which for some reason, 90-some-odd% of you are listening on Spotify, which is great. I mean, I don't mean like for some reason, like I don't know why you're doing that. The only problem with Spotify is you can't comment so I can see it. So you'd have to tweet me at Done with Dave, which most of you listen on Spotify and then you walk away. You're satisfied because the numbers are there. And I don't know if they're consistent, but the Spotify numbers are amazing. Way more than Spreaker. Way more. So the couple of hundred of you that are listening, thank you, but I would like you to check in. Can you check in somehow? Can you just tweet me at Done with Dave? Hey, Dave, this is so-and-so, and I'm listening on Spotify. On Twitter. Send me a tweet. Or, I don't know. Just something short. You'll make a whole Dave Canyon paragraph about it. Just like, hey, Dave, just heard episode 160. That was a milestone. Send it on Twitter. So, because Spotify doesn't have a comment section. And by the way, I find it fascinating. Some podcast apps do and some podcast apps don't. I just don't understand what's the difficulty in doing it. And some podcast apps, if I ever have the time, I wish I had more time, I would go through every app that I have on my phone, every podcasting listening app, and go through the features. Some of them have ridiculous features. I can't remember one off the top of my head. But some of them I go, how is this possibly appealing to anybody? Podcoin was interesting because you might be able to make some money off of it, but that went out of business. There's another one that has a sleep timer. I think maybe all of them do. Some of them don't have a sleep timer. And just all different little things that they have and don't have. I find it like that's the thing that they think is going to make them a success by having this particular silly feature that I never use. But I like the Spreaker because you can comment right here. You don't have to go to Twitter and tweet me. You don't have to go to Yahoo or Gmail and send me an email at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. You don't have to do that. And so far, almost none of you have done that. You can go to davecanyon.com because there's a contact form there, and my excellent, super excellent assistant from the Philippines, Pauline in the Philippines, doing an excellent job. She blew me away again the other day. What did she do? She did something. I was like, wow. So she's doing an excellent job, but she tests the contact form, and it works. Every week she sends me a test. So far I've gotten 2 contact form letters, and they've both been from Pauline. So go to the website, davecanyon.com. I think DIDWD works. Dumbwithdave.com, dumbingitdownwithdave.com. They all go to the same place. Send me a little letter on the contact form. You don't have to tweet it. You don't have to send anything for the whole world to see. Just send me it, and it'll come to me. It works. And I want to thank Podpub for hosting my website and creating it, doing a great job. My buddy Andy. Thank you, Andy, for putting together my website on Podpub. And my apologies to Pauline. I'm really throwing her this last minute curve. She doesn't even know, or she probably doesn't see it that way. But all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're doing season 2 of Dave's Fit Life. What? We didn't talk about this. Yeah, I know. I just deemed it season 2. A smart YouTuber, a smart podcaster. By the way, this is the part of the show, I'm a little bit late, where I make the obligatory comment that this is not the podcast I wanted to do. And last week it wasn't the podcast I wanted to do, and I forgot what podcast I did want to do, and I never got to it. And I thought I was going to make myself a written note or a texty note, so I remember that this week I would start immediately. This episode, 161, I would just get right into it, and I already forgot what last week's was supposed to be about, which I never got to. Or did I get to it? I don't remember. I might have gotten it towards the end, and I gave it a minute. But, every show I have an obligatory moment where I go, this is not the podcast I really wanted to do. I do have stuff queued up. I just get on you know how it works. You hit the record button and you let it rip. So all of a sudden I'm doing season 2 of Dave's Fit Life. And dumbing it down with Dave. Oh yeah, so here's what I wanted to do. I knew there was something I wanted to do. So we're going to do it now. 17 minutes in. I don't have a drink break sound effect for some reason. Oh, I know why. I think because I did an update on my iPhone. I got that 13.1 update, whatever it was, and apparently every time I do an update, it eliminates sound effects on my Spreaker app. Very weird. So I just started before I started the show. I hit the button. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Where's my effects? So some of them got erased, and I had to re-add them. But everything sounded the same because I found them and I brought them back. But it was a panic moment. Whoa, what happened to my phone? So, where was I? Oh, it's time for a drink break. Let's take a drink break. Ready? I'm parched. Okay. Thank you, whoever would have, whatever AI voice would have. Usually it's Emma. Emma's very good about letting me know it's time to have a drink break. Are we going to do a breather break? We haven't done one in a long time. Probably not. I got to get to this. All right, let me see if I can hit some buttons and not screw everything up. 18 minutes and 20 some odd seconds. Please, Dave, please don't screw this up. Please don't screw this up. All right, so Dave's Fit Life is in season 2, phase 1. Just going through the motions, trying to get into the groove of things. When will phase 1 end? That's a good question. I don't know. I'd like to think that Dave's Fit Life, maybe it'll be 3 months. Maybe I'll lose 10 pounds. Oh, yeah, poundage. Maybe I'll lose 10 pounds and I'll say, you know what? I'm in the groove. It's time for phase 2. But I don't think so. Because phase 1 was supposed to be getting in the groove, replacing 2 hours of commuting for 2 hours of exercise, and qualifying for the 2020 New York City Marathon, which I didn't even come close to doing. I never even joined the New York Roadrunners. That's the organization that puts on the marathon. That's the organization that has that 9+1 program that I explained in a previous episode, where I run 9 qualifying races and I volunteer for one. It's called 9+1. And it's really only accessible to people in the New York tri-state area. You can't be in the 9+1 program and be from California or Chicago. It's too far of a commute. So it's a really fantastic opportunity for people who live nearby to qualify for the marathon, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. Running in the New York City Marathon, qualifying it, very difficult to do. Anyway, So that's part of phase one. Well, whatever. I'll deem the day. It'll be like, oh, I think we're on to phase two. Phase one is I don't know how long it's going to be for, and it doesn't really matter. Let's move on. So that's Dave's for Life. Dumbing it down with Dave. I haven't done a season 2, but maybe this is a good time to do a season 2. Now that Pauline is listening, and she'll go, thanks, Dave. Thanks for including me on anything, so we can prepare. But I'm not up to that part yet. I should have said something to Pauline. Say, hey, I think we're going to do this. But it really didn't come to me until the other day. I went, oh, guess what? I'm living in my van. Oh, I'm back in the van. I'm back in Dave's Fit Life. Oh, you know what? Season 2. I did 2 videos this week. It just happened. That's how disorganized I am. And by the way, that's a lot of sleep deprivation and brain degradation. That's what that is. Poor planning, because I'm just really trying to stay alive for the next mile. For the next mile marker, for the next day, the next horrible tractor that I have to drive for this company with this stupid new, what they call ELD update, this electronic handheld device that's just, whatever. They can't wait to replace us with robots. That's all I'm saying, folks. They cannot wait. The trucking industry, I'm not doing a trucking show. I'm not going down that road. No trucking shows, no friend shows, no depleter shows. For the rest of 2019, I would like to avoid those topics. Trucking, my horrible schedule, which they promised they're going to rebid that real soon. Probably not until the end of the year. So, now that it's October, November's real soon. And so if November's real soon, then December's right around the corner. And then there's January. So somewhere in the next couple of months, we're supposed to rebid. Hopefully I'll get my Saturdays off again. I got a feeling I'm not. Anyway, so I guess this is a good time as any to announce, let's make it season 2. Dumbing it that way? I just decided. No planning. I just decided. This is it. This is the first episode of season 2. Well, maybe next week. I don't know. Maybe this is not such a good idea. Am I going to call it anything different? No, I'm referring to myself as the pragmatic podcaster. But it's, oh, yes, I am calling it something. I don't know. Let's just go with the countdown has begun. I was going to say the final countdown, but that seems kind of final. It's not the final countdown. And then you could cue the song. It's the final countdown. Europe was the band that did the song, The Final Countdown. What a great name for a band, Europe. Whatever. Just as bad as Boston. Hey, what do you want to name the band? Oh, well, from Boston. Want to call us Boston? That's a dumb name. Yeah, it's never going to sell. I'm too stoned in 1977 to come up with a different name. All right, Boston. Anyway, how many states have a band? Alabama. Remember that? Alabama, that was a band. Alabama. How come there's no New York band? Hey, New York. Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn. McCall, Idaho. What band are you in, McCall, Idaho? Whatever. So, let's call season 2. Nah, I'm not going to, whatever. I'll think of it. If you have an idea, you tell me. I'll let the listener suggest a title for the season 2. The countdown has begun. The countdown to what, Dave? The countdown to my transition into life. Transition into life? What is this something you want to tell us? Yes, I'm telling you right now. Transitioning into life. Where's my recording app? Oh, please don't tell me I screwed it up. Please don't tell me I screwed it up. Is it gone? No, there it is. Oh, thank God. How many minutes I got left? Oh, good. 24. 6 minutes left. All right. Dave, you think maybe you should bullet point this? Yeah, I would have bullet pointed. I did 69 hours this week. You know how exhausted I am? And now I'm in a caravan headed down to my house in Saugerties. I got to jump in the shower, get rid of all this oil and fuel smell on me, all this dirt and grime. And then I got to get in the Subaru and go down to Brooklyn. Oh, yeah. What a day this is going to be. What a nightmare. What a daymare. It's a daymare into an afternoon mare into a nightmare. It's all the mares. So, I don't have bullet points. I don't have an index card. And I am sleep deprived and brain degraded. But I'm going to take a little breather here. It's not a breather break. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths. You know what? Let's do a breather break because I got to clear my head. Ready? 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Or whatever, out through the mouth. It doesn't matter. Harder as they go. Deeper and let's get it done. Ready? Breath number 1. Go. Yeah, I'm doing out through the nose. You can do out through the mouth. Some of you don't find it very comfortable. Ready? Breath number 2. Go. All right, last breath. The deepest one, the hardest one. Hold it the longest if you can. Make it hurt. Ready? I don't know why, but pain is gain, right? Okay, no pain, no gain. Something like that. Ready? Go. All right, 3 deep breaths. Thank you very much. Appreciate you participating. I needed to do that and clear my head. That breather break was brought to you by air. Anywhere you are in the world, if there's air and it's clean and free, you should breathe it. Live to breathe, breathe to live. Air. Take a breather. All right. Now I'm fine. Season 2, Dumbing It Down with Dave. The countdown to transition has begun. What does that mean? Well, some people call it retirement. A friend of mine once told me, don't call it retirement. Call it transitioning into life. My wife's finished her master's program. She became a teacher in New York State. She is now a teacher. She's making quite a bit more money than she has made in the first 23, 24, 5, 30, I don't know how many years of our relationship. This has eased my burden. My burden has been eased. Not completely. I'm not free of responsibility. It's just been eased. So, and we have a lot on our plate. My goal is, since she started in September of 2019, and she'll have tenure, not 10 years, tenure, in September of 2023. It only takes 4 years to get tenure. Why don't they call it 4 year? I don't know. I don't think that's why they call it 10 year, because it used to take 10 years. I have no idea. I'm sure some smart aleck will put the definitions in the comment section. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just that in 4 years, it'll be much more difficult to fire her, I guess. And she'll have benefits for an extended period of time. I don't know. I could be wrong about all this. I'm very sleep deprived right now and brain degraded. But I remember discussing it with her. And apparently it is not safe, completely safe for me to transition into life, to retire from trucking, retire from Gorelick until she has tenure, which is in 4 years, which would be September 2023. So right now, let me just say this, for all intents, I-N-T-E-N-T-S, intense, intense. For all intents and purposes, September 1, September 1, 2023 will be the end of the countdown. The countdown has already begun. I did a soft announcement a couple of episodes ago. This is the hard announcement. Actually, it's not even hard. I still got to figure things out. But this is a lot harder than the soft announcement. The countdown to transition has begun. And can you hear that motorcycle? This guy's like in and out of traffic. Holy cow. I think they call that a crotch rocket. Is that what it's called? He's leaning over and he's revving that motorcycle. He can't wait to just tear it up. My plan is to retire. My plan is to transition into life. What I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to do it, I don't know that yet. But right now, that's what I'm working towards. I am working towards transitioning into life. And I am working 5 days a week, doing somewhere between 60 some odd to 70 hours a week of truck driving to build up my funds, to build up my 401k, to build up my annuity, and to take care of things that I had made a list. I actually made a list, but I can't get to it because I spent so much time, God knows doing what for the last 29 minutes. I can't wait to re-listen to this and go, oh, wow, Dave, you spent a lot of time on nothing. But I do have a list. It's a long laundry list of things to do. Can I get to it real quickly? This is such a risky proposition. All right, here we go. In the next 4 years, my wife and I have to redo our bathroom, the kitchen, the living room, the metal roof, storm doors to the crawl space, the heat and AC, propane stove, finish the garage, pay down our cars, get a pool, landscaping, driveway, trees, solar power, remove the electrical pole, get a shed, maybe a guest house, fix the foundation, reside the house, and don't forget, we need vacations. Yeah. All right. That's what we got to work on for the next 4 years. Goodbye. Good day. Good night. Good luck. Good riddance. Good rats. Godspeed and great skills. Bye.